traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1514th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Good evening, traders. This video, the 1514th, coming to you on a Wednesday night for Thursday, August 30th, 2016.
Today's Tuesday.
Today's only Tuesday?
Right? Yeah.
And tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Wednesday to Thursday.
Ah, today's only Tuesday. This video would be for Wednesday. But in reality, it's sort of just a look at some charts. Traders, as you know, future trading can be and is extremely risky, causes substantial financial loss. With that in mind, I'm telling you right now, if you've been with me these last, 8-10 days, I couldn't hit the side of a barn if I was thrown at it. In fact, just to prove that theory out, I went outside yesterday. There's a barn right next door to me. I went and got my helmet. I put my helmet on. I had 6 guys grab me like a torpedo, whip me at the barn. Just as my head's about to hit it, the barn collapses. I go right over where it was. I land in a creek and I get bit by an alligator. That's how bad I'm missing these markets. I kid you not. I'm sorry, you could do much better without me at the helm these last few days. All right. It is late summer. There is no excuse, you know what I mean? The market's always right. I am wrong. That is that. I get to hide behind the OMNI when it's right. When it's wrong, you know what? I got to stand out in front and tell you the truth. That is me getting this wrong and my bad. I can't seem to string 2 days together. So to test the theory, it didn't work. I missed the barn and everything. I'd stay away from me this week. I'll tell you that much. So how did I get that out of my hands? Hopefully it's gone. You know these weak summer markets? I don't know if you can blame me or not, but who else's fault could it be? All right. It looks like an old friend has come to visit the gold chart. I can't wait to show you an old friend. And you OMNI campers that are coming next week, hey, Rock and Roll OMNI Camp, you will get to see the second half of this lesson I'm about to show you in the gold chart. And the ES, the Russell, the major indexes are still mired in my F flags, the Oscarism known as the F flags, and I want to show that to you. Remember, traders, this is a holiday. You get a lot of reversals during a week like this. Markets are really thin. Analysis becomes difficult to use. Stops get hit so often. Just be careful these next few days. What should happen next week is traders come back from their vacations, from their shore homes, from their mountain homes, from wherever they've been on vacation. They do not sit down at the trading desks, jump into it, and just start trading. They've got to sit down, assess where the markets have been, come up with a trading plan, a viable one. They've got to submit the trading plan, have it approved by the higher-ups, and then start to interact or enact that trading plan. And that doesn't happen the first day they get back. So generally the first week traders come back from summer, that's what's going on. And then the next week, after next week, things start to really pick up. Be ready for that. Markets should get really volatile. What's really interesting, what we have going on, is we've got coming right out of where we are now. You've had talk of the possibility and most likely, yes, a rate hike this year. We got the presidential election coming. A rate hike should follow that. The Santa Claus rally should follow that. What a quarter we are in for. It is going to be exciting. Make sure that you are here. You know, I didn't do as many videos over the summer. I tried to relax it a little bit like you cats did, but it's going to pick up in September. I want you to be ready for it. A lot of lessons are going to come your way. A lot of action at livewithoscar.com. Make sure you're there for it. Traders, I want to show you some charts, just some ideas, some things I'm working on that will pick up next week. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts.
I drove 29 hours from Wisconsin to come down here, drove it straight through. And on the way down, I was expecting to perhaps be tired somewhere along the way because it's a long drive. And I was up essentially for probably a day and a half, but my mind was just racing all the way down. I had so many things that I wanted to learn. I had so many questions that I wanted to ask. I was so excited about being able to come down here and meet him in person because he's just a force of nature when you see him on these videos. He's every bit as fun and informative and genuine as you might suspect, and just the whole way down I was completely engaged in wanting to be here.
I've been watching him for the last 8 months, and of course I was skeptical when I saw his flashes and all that. And then I started watching and seeing what he was doing and seeing what he was doing, and I was quite impressed by what he was putting out there. So I had to come and see it.
I came here because I saw Oscar on the internet, of course, joined the chat room, was impressed with his apparent track record, and so I bought the course to learn how to do it myself.
I was learning along the way as in the chat room, things would pop up, and I definitely recognized within a month or two that it was very, very powerful what was going on. It was very, very, there was a lot of possibility. I saw the possibility, but yet I understood within a relatively short period of time that it was very, very difficult for me to do without having the extra additional knowledge about what Oscar does. So that's why I made the decision and was very, very fortunate to be able to come out to this first Omni Camp 2.0, and I'm very, very glad that I did.
I had big expectations regarding his system, and this whole experience just blew my mind. I mean, it over-delivered expectations, for sure.
Why create mediocrity when you can imitate genius? And to me, Oscar is a genius in this business because he's studied it more, he's tested it more, he's tested it with his own money and continues to do that. What better validation could you have?
Okay, traders, the first chart this evening, emini S&P daily bar, a very familiar chart, I'm sure by this point. F flag, an Oscarism known as the F flag. It has been running, and the market tried to get under it once, and then a few days ago tried to get under it again and went right back up like it did here. So basically what I'm looking at now is the F flag going into an expansion. Do not fall in love with the downside. We have certainly not taken that out. So here's where it was. This is what the F flag would look like if we put an expansion, and we might as well. And in fact, let's put those two together. And what we really have, after looking at that, is we've just taken that line that was here and dropped it down. This one just doesn't even exist anymore. So that's the flag. It expanded. Same flag. We are steeped in it. Don't fall in love with the downside. That's what the E-mini S&P looks like. This is for the next few days into next week after the holiday. Russell 2000 never even got down to the expansion. Only once so far. On that last drop a couple days ago, it stayed inside of its flag very nicely. Russell looks fantastic. You can't fault these markets right now unless something insane happens. That's a very bullish look. Gold traders, this is it. This is what I wanted to show you. This, it appears to me, an old friend has come to visit. More about this at OmniCamp, but what you're looking at is what I deem an Oscarism called the false breakout. This is a pennant flag. Here's your pole, but really it's probably this big one right here. Here's your flag. If you break it down into proper quadrants, what you should be expecting is what we're seeing right here, and the likelihood of the gold continuing to go down after just a little bit down here is not very high. More about this at OmniCamp. Traders, remind me to cover this when you come to camp next week. And then there's this. You're seeing the daily gold. In the weekly, it basically says the same thing. Weekly, in a channel, bull flag. There's not all that much room to drop before you hit the bottom of this bull flag once again. So, or if you go a little low, you hit the bottom of the channel. Either way, this flag shows you gold doesn't have too much room on the downside at this point, and so does the pennant flag that we just looked at. I'll speak to you about this at OmniCamp. The rest of you traders at livewithoscar.com, take a look at this because it's an important juncture we're almost at in the gold. Euro. This is for shorter term thinking. Maybe, maybe not. The euro. Wonderful, wonderful resistance, the black line. The market hit it, came down, hit it, came down, hit it, but got above it. Looked promising for a while. Came smashing back down after the Fed, or after Aunt Yellen announced that we'll have a rate hike this year. And we got back below this line. Now that is interesting to me. We held here, you got above it, you had some action. Whoa! But then, boom, you got below it, and now you're starting to get action below it. Then you throw OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, over it, and what you'll find is it's a very interesting area. Let's take this now, let's erase some of this, and let's give this a different, let's think outside the box. Maybe what you're seeing in euro is that. It's the exact same chart, Same exact line. I just pulled off the other nonsense that I just showed you and thought I'd show you what could be left shoulder head, right shoulder forming, which would bring us below that black line, which coincidentally the old-fashioned way of looking at head and shoulders, that cuts right through a neckline. It's very interesting too. And this could be a right shoulder building. Now, head and shoulders building in the euro after Aunt Jenin just announced the possibility of a rate hike this year is very high. Makes a lot of sense because if they raise rates, foreign investment will come pouring into the United States and they've got to buy U.S. dollars to buy U.S. assets. If you're a foreign investor, you've got to swap your money for U.S. dollars in order to purchase U.S. assets like interest rates and real estate and you name it. Interesting, but just some food for thought. We've got a holiday coming, a few days off. Just some food for thought, traders. That's what I wanted to show you this evening. Come on down to livewithoscar.com and I'll see you in my trading room. So, traders, you've seen the charts, but remember, don't believe a damn thing I'm telling you, because, boy, am I terrible at this lately. Believe in those charts, however, because they seem to be the roadmap to what happens next in these markets. Traders, enjoy your next few days. Maybe another video, maybe not, between now and the holiday. After that, get ready to roll up those sleeves and do some working with Oscar, because, boy, is it going to get busy. You Europeans, I trade, or we sit up and hope for OMNI trades to hit all night long. So while you're up during the day, we're here during the evening. Join me in my chat room at livewithoscar.com. We'll keep each other company. While my American friends are all sleeping like little wusses, we can hang out and watch these markets. All right, traders, I'll see you at livewithoscar.com. Remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things, in my opinion, you can do to help keep those emotions at bay is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening. And you know what that is. Stops are emotions are out. Rock and roll, livewithoscar.com. I'll see you there. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.